An homage to painting. That's right. Currently gymmed, caffeinated, and suitably inebriated. He says. I'm still talking, so that's not really a possibility. So one thing I really want to get done this year is the medical marijuana card. I know, random. So, I figured it's been a while, so let's do some drawing. I have a rough sketch. I don't know if you can really see. Wait, I say rough sketch. It's mostly there, like. Mostly being the optimal word because, yeah. Arguably a lot to do, and probably going to be the wrong angle to do it from, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I just picked up the right pen and then dropped it. Front to back or back to front? I don't know. Always the way, isn't it? Thinking about it, might be worth swapping sides, as I'm right-handed. Right, how are we going to do this? Bear with me. Ta-da! Make sure I can actually fit in to be able to do this, but there we go. Oh my god. So yeah, the process has changed a little bit over the years. I think that's half the reason I wanted a break from content creation, is to be able to just do things differently. So whilst there's something to be said for the sort of freehand drawing weird mashups like you saw at the start of the video, I do have a great deal of love for making, like, well, mostly fine line drawings. I say mostly because they're not entirely. But yeah, I just found taking a bit more time with the art is just allows me to create better art, like, or a higher quality. Yeah, I don't know. It's subjective. Styles. Different styles take different time, and sometimes it's fun to just see what comes out, and other times it's like, well, I want to do something a bit more thoughtful, even if it does take, wow. Say like this piece, it's only taken me a few weeks because it's the last piece of paper I have. And as much as paper isn't that expensive, everything is when you don't have money. It's a thing people always seem to forget. It's like, everything is expensive when you don't have nothing. And yeah. As much as I love creating every day, as I say, there's this year try and focus more on goals and money, because previous years focusing on art has just, well, it's left me in a shit place basically. And I laugh because what the fuck else can you do at this point? I mean, there's only so many times you can be told to get a job, and it's like, I can't do anything other than art. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, whilst yes, there's things I can do within art that isn't art, and you know, there's a lot I could do. Like, eh. Need and want to. I think that's the thing, isn't it? It's like, as much as I need the money, I don't necessarily need or want the stress or the bullshit that comes with it. Well, just working with fucking people. I think that's the biggest thing. Get so used to working on your own and working at your own speed that it's like, yeah. So when someone, as I mentioned in a previous video, someone decided it was a wise idea to try and tell me what's what, you know, and how to do things, and it was like, it was a very short discussion because they didn't actually want to talk, they just wanted to have a go. And at a certain point, it's like, people forget that I was worked in many different industries before I got into art, and yeah, don't take shit lightly. It's one of these things. It's like, when you find the thing you love to do, it doesn't matter. Like, it's like, I appreciate why you would say it, and you know, but at the same time, it's like, I'm trying. You know, it's not for want of trying. It's just, yeah. Never really wanted to be a content creator, I think, because, yeah, well, it's a bit like business. Got to find your niche, you know. It's like same with art. Find your niche. It's like, for the longest time, my niche was just art, which this is why I say about the. As much as I love doing it, it's like, it's not an awful lot else I would want to do. Well, comparatively. Yeah, I think with content creation, just look at it as the acquisition and or things you have to do to make the money to be able to do more. And a lot of it is like, whilst yes, I could talk a lot more, I could put out a lot more content. It's risky, especially in the UK. It is no longer a joke, and yeah, don't know quite how to really talk about that without getting myself into trouble, which is why I just keep quiet. But like I say, in it, you got to do what you got to do, and live the type of life you want to live. Should really talk about the project and or idea a bit more, because I do think it'd be fun to make something similar to a console that just sits in the corner of a room and makes you a passive income. Because, well, whilst I don't technically have a property yet, it's like, I know a lot of people that have properties that don't necessarily make, houses that they live in, but don't, they're a house. It's not something you necessarily consider. But having a passive way of just generating generating funds. It's difficult. Well, it's easy enough to do. It's just like I say, money and technology, but yeah. It's the age-old thing with tech. It's like, whilst a lot of the technology exists to do these things, getting someone or finding the right person that can see the sort of potential, it's like, eh. And then, like I say, a lot of people are just innately concerned because, well, why would you want something that generates an income? I know, strange concept that, you wouldn't want people to make money, but that's the world we live in. Yeah, the biggest thing as well with the content creation is I just want space to be able to actually do more. Like, at the moment, it's working on one project at a time is very tedious, and like I say, with materials, if I really wanted to, I could fill out one of these books in a day. I mean, wouldn't be the highest quality art ever, but at the same time, it's art. Who's to define the quality of such things, As I mentioned in that little short, it's like, some people will rate the shit I do as better. Like, I had it during the degree. A lot of the work that they liked was work that took me barely any time and barely any thought. Which, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of the way my brain works. I was like, because it's just like, well, who wouldn't want a passive income just from electric, given the fact that you're paying it anyway in a lot of situations. Oh. Sorry, I did warn you at the start. That's the problem again. Spend 2 hours in the gym, your brain is a bit toasted. I'm going to go with, probably toasted before I went in, to be fair, so. Yeah. But yeah, having more space to sort of work on like painting projects and drawing projects and, like I say, with the installation. And then messing around with like technology, because it just sounds fun. Very simple thing to do is just, well, time and resources. That age-old thing. But yeah, my brain's not really wired for like normality. And I say that with the, it's just from years of understanding and working and, making mistakes. But what got me thinking about it, I was looking at the painting yesterday and just thinking, God, if I had a few £100, I could just make another one. So technically I don't have the space to keep storing them, but at the same time, this is what I say, this is a problem. This has been the problem for years with art, because it's like, yeah, I don't tend to think about myself at all, which, well, some would say that's a good thing. It's like, yeah, but you also don't get very far if you do that. That's the thing with getting a bit older, and like I say with the gym, because it's like, it's made me realise I can't live on one meal a day. I mean, I have done, but if I want to actually train more, I need to eat more. Simple maths. And like I say with the medical marijuana card, it's like something I've been wanting to do for years at this point. I've just kind of put it on the back burner because every bit of money I've had I throw into creating more art, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it's also not the most sensible of things to do. Probably should have warned you at the start. I'm not entirely sure how long this is going to take. It may well take a lot longer than I think, especially with talking. Should probably time lapse it. I just don't want to. How far are we on? Let's have a look. Yeah, got a bit of time. It's fine. Might be able to get half of it done. Well, I say half of it. Mostly half of it. Yeah, the funny thing is, I was going to do some sketching on the underside, but realised I'd already filled it in. And then what you saw at the start was obviously on the back of that, because, yeah, it's a problem when I get new materials, I just use them. And as much as I love this pen, it's like, ooh, I just want to run it to dry. Which, arguably, I'm already done. No, doing well. Mildly impressed with how well these pens last. If you're wondering why, it's Kim. Oh, fuck me. I can't remember his name. Kim Jung-ji? Kim Ji-chung. Don't quote me. But I'd seen him work with them, and I was like, I can but give it a try, because it's sort of similar in some ways to drawing. Like, just got to be a bit more sure of yourself with ink, because yeah, you mess up and it stays messed up. Yeah, the last year or two made me realise just how lacking I was. Like, essentially living on caffeine and eating one meal a day. Like, it's fine, but it's not a life. Like, it's not a very enjoyable life, And especially with the gym, because it's just like, it just buggers you. So brain function is a limited faculties we're with. I can do it, but can't quite. Yeah. I think that's the other thing with not having any actual dedicated space. Gotta really think about when and how I'm doing these things, because otherwise, yeah, I get interrupted, which as you can imagine, when you're in the flow, or at least that's the thing. Whilst I can create working around people, different headspaces. One you have to be prepared for and actually sort of think about, and when you're doing it, well, a bit like this, it's like, yeah, you need a bit of space, Because unfortunately, not everyone understands just the amount of time or energy these things take. It's one of those things. It's like, whilst you can, you can create a lot. It's like, why would you want to So working in coffee shops, I love doing it every so often, but it is fucking hard work because you've got to completely zone out. You've got to zone out from everything's going on around you to be able to actually sort of put things in their place. Because it's just the thing with drawing is like, a lot of people just see it as paint by numbers, which to a degree it is. Once you get to a good enough level, you are essentially just creating things that you could sort of outline and leave them as outlines, but as I mentioned at the start, it's like, this is what the beauty of having time to really consider the best way to do something. It's like, because yes, I can, but do I want to? And that's the hardest thing, is like trying to time it so that you've got enough time to actually be able to do the things you want to do without getting, distracted, waylaid, interrupted, I don't know. I laugh because, as I say, it's not my place to really dictate. That'd be funny, wouldn't it? Just put a ring doorbell outside the studio, or like a live button. I'm like, nope, don't come near. Don't even think about it. Don't care. Unless the world's burning, at which point, well, what fucking difference is it gonna make if I get involved? Really? You know what I mean? It's like, eh. Yeah, I think that was the hardest thing it's been the hardest thing trying to get people to understand that, working with one eye is like whilst there's a lot of things I could do to make money, it's been like construction. Yes, I can do it. Is it a lot more difficult? Yes. Do I injure myself more? Yes. Is it really worth it? No. And that's the thing where it's like, having done these things, like, not to say that I can't, it's more the personal well-being is more important than a wage. Sound like I mentioned potential, like, at least with art I can see sort of direct correlation between sort of personal growth and ability. I don't know, like, it's just a bit more fun, like, and something I can keep doing and doing and doing and doing, because yeah. What was I doing half of it? I don't remember. So yeah, it's like with the rise of AI, it's like, is it going to stop me? No. Will I use it for some referencing? Well, yeah, why not? I mean, it's a tool, but to anyone that makes AI art, you just shouldn't. It's just dumb. Like, use it for referencing and then try and create what you see, you know? Put some fucking personality into your goddamn art rather than just copying and pasting, because it's easily done, but why? This beautiful thing with sort of creating things yourself is like, I can create art in the worst possible mood, or like the worst situation. There's shit going on, there's life, there's pick a fucking drama. But after the fact, I can look back and go, look what I did. You know? Whereas, let's say with a lot of the generative stuff is like, you can create it, but who gives a fuck? Like, it's not really you that created it, you just created the prompt, which isn't the same thing. And likewise, just doesn't give you the same level of satisfaction of going, well, actually, I put my time and energy into doing something that I like to do, and I can see the progress, even if it isn't seen by anyone else. I've done that to myself over the last few years. I've seen like a few of the pieces that I've created and gone, huh? And then I had to sort of remind myself of when and where, and well, I was never questioned the why too much. I just do. It's much easier just doing. Question the why. It's like, ooh, that's a deep, deep rabbit hole that who the fuck only knows. Is it experience? Is it memories? Is it a bit of both? Is it influence? Is it... who the fuck knows? Like I say, that's for the psychologist to figure out. It's not a me thing, you know? Do. Love how I said I would do half of it, and I'm already quarter of the way through, and I'm like, I don't want to do anymore. God. So that's the problem with the gym. It just wipes any level of energy, and you're like, just want to eat and fall asleep, have a nap, you know? Do something productive. And I know this is vastly productive, but also energy dependent. Like, it requires a lot of energy to do. Well, doesn't it? Doesn't. That's what I say. It's an enjoyable thing to do, but at the same time, this does wipe you. Does take it out of you. I think it's more so knowing that all you've got to do is just one mistake, one hiccup, one line across it, and it's like, nope, and it's gone. Whatever you were trying to do is just gone. Ba-da-bum-bum. So I do wish there was a quicker way to do some of these things sometimes, but at the same time, yeah. Choices. Personal choices. I think that's the thing you realise with art. Is like, yeah, you could, but where's the fun in that? Could I just draw a normal pattern that doesn't have any randomness in it? Yes. Would it be probably easier? Yes. Much like why I'd never used grids for drawing, because it's just like, it's more fun just doing things the hard way. Comes out how it comes out. It's art. I mean, are you going to judge it because it doesn't fit into your box? I don't know. And I don't really care. It is what it is at this point. It's like, just because I make it doesn't mean you have to like it. It's a beautiful thing with it. Like, that's what I say. For many years, like a lot of the stuff I made, I just didn't like, and the stuff I liked just didn't work. The conceptual weirdness. Fun to do, fun to look at, but also doesn't really make a lot of sense. And you end up getting an awful lot of questions as to why. Cause some of it is like, I had not seen it before, so I did it. Should I have done it? No, but hey. It's like a visual historian is art. In some ways, in some forms. Getting so close. I mean, arguably, I've still got to do all of the detail work on all of what I've done, but as I say, what I might do is take a break, do something else, and give you the sort of finished piece once I've actually finished it, because otherwise you're going to be sat there for hours. And as much as I don't mind, it doesn't really work for YouTube. Being, see, I've still got like deepened some things. I've got detail old Squidward here. Continuing. Yeah, it's kind of why I wanted to just do half of it, because it's like, But then realizing very quickly that snakes never work quickly. Not if you wanted it to look like anything like a snake. But dun-dun-dun. Almost half of it. Let's see. I'll get back to you when I've actually got a bit further along with it and somewhere towards finished. Well, 2 hours later, heavily into it at the moment, and yeah. Can you tell how warped I was? I love how I was like, yeah, I'll have this done in half a day. I was like, Fucking 3 hours later, and I'm just halfway there, and even then, So, I've started to detail the octopi. Not sure on quite if I'm finished with it yet. Still might shade it. I don't know. And old speckle fangs. But yeah, still got a long way to go, so I may as well leave it here for the moment, I suppose. I don't know. I did say it was supposed to be a process video. It's just this is why I say it's like the process is much longer, and as much as I'm getting my way through it, I think I've probably got about another hour of daylight today, so I'm gonna take a little break and start chipping away at some of this. But yeah, more to come. I think the plan will be to set the line across, so that I can then start figuring out this a bit more, because I need a bit more detail before I start playing around. But yeah, it's going. Very slowly, but it's going. Crazy. What difference a day makes, eh? But yeah, figuring out the snake took me a while, and then don't know why I ever think doing snakes is a good idea. It's so fucking tedious and really not good for my eyes. This is why I've sort of retired from doing A4 drawing. It's just too much. Whilst I can, it's just I'll do it for book projects, but I suppose I should talk about that a bit. But like I say, I will chip away a bit and then probably have another video on top of the video. We'll have a part 2. That's probably the best way of doing it. That way at least you get something to watch. Me at my worst. And then I'll be back. Stitch this together and plug away a bit more. Till the next time. Subscribe, like, go buy some art, all that usual jazz.